G'day everyone, welcome back to another video. This one is a video that you guys have been asking for a while now. Always getting so many questions on the 79. How's this going? How's that going? Do you wish you still had the 76? Do you prefer the 79? Is the Jmacx worth it? The questions are endless, so we threw a post up on social media and we're going to do a full review video. Now, it's not going to be a walk around video. If you want to check out all the ins and outs of this build and all the products that have gone on it, I'll put a link in the description below and you'll be able to go and check it out and see everything in detail. On this one, it's just a Q&A. You guys have sent in a heap of questions on social media and I'm basically just going to sit here and answer them. And as we go along, I'll tell you a few of the other bits and pieces that I've sort of found along the way, whether I love it or hate it. But if you've just joined us, guys, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, make sure you turn the bell on so you don't miss any of the other videos. This is going to be a cool little video. I haven't read the questions yet, so I'm pretty excited to get stuck in. Let's go. All right, guys, we've just pulled down onto the beautiful Cable Beach up here in Broome. I'm just going to get a chair, sit down, and we'll start smashing through these videos. Look at that. I'll tell you what, if you're traveling around Australia just in a rooftop tent or with a swag, the ability to have this much shade and protection from the rain, absolutely incredible. Especially if you got a canopy, guys. Have a look at this real quick. The cool thing about the Jmacx is that you got two straight arms coming out as opposed to your standard 270. On your standard 270, you're gonna have an angle coming across something like this, which can, not always, but can foul on the door going up if your awning comes across. So just something to keep in mind. All right, let's get stuck into some of these questions and anything that I think people have missed. I'll sort of point out a few things as we go around. Coffee machine, rate it or hate it. The coffee machine in the car, of course I rate it, especially when you're out remote. Truth be told is the Nespresso, the milk frother, buggered out, so I'm gonna have to get another one. I might even try and get a little bit fancier, see if I can fit one with proper ground beans. Feel free now to give me in the comments about having a coffee machine. People either love it or they hate it. That's up to you. How much have you spent on the 79 all up? Another quick disclaimer, guys, is a lot of the products on this vehicle are sponsored products. That's no secret. I'm very open and honest about who I'm sponsored by, but I just want to make something very clear, which I continuously point out. I always hand-pick the sponsors. Some of these sponsors have taken me 3 years to get, and 3-4 years, and I truly believe they're some of the best in the game. I wouldn't feel comfortable running products that I don't like and telling you guys it's great and you go out and you buy it and it's an absolute bucket. So this trip is the best way to put all of these guys' products to the true test and give you guys some honest feedback. It also allows me to give these companies honest feedback and say, hey, look, this is not working or this is working great. And a lot of the brands I team up with take all that information on board. So full disclaimer there, but let's get stuck in. So what would it cost to roughly build this rig? We did a rough price breakdown. Obviously you just keep adding things over time and time, but if you wanted to replicate this build, you'd be at about $230,000 basically to cover it. Is that a ridiculous amount of money for a four-wheel drive? Yes it is. Yes it is. But this is my home away from home. This is what I do for work. This is what I do for play. This is my hobby, my passion. I absolutely love it. So this is a truck that I had on like a vision board of mine to build for many years now, and look, it's been everything that I've ever wanted. So that gives you a rough idea on price. What are some of the issues you've had with the truck? Truth be told, guys, I have not really had any issues. I've had little niggly things like a fuse went for my air compressor. I had to swap out a fuse. I've cracked a windscreen. This truck's pretty new, guys, and although we're putting it to the test, I'd say chances are maybe towards the very end of this trip, when the truck's 12, 18 months is when you may start having a few more niggly issues. But so far, I mean, touch wood, fingers crossed, I haven't had any major fails. You guys know I always show off any of the fails. You know, whether we're halfway across the Tanami and I'm snapping diff housings in half, I always try and show you what I break. There's normally a reason for these things breaking, and so far this thing has been a beast. I like to sort of do a fair bit of trip maintenance along the way. I always stop in, make sure everything's checked and everything's greased, and if you find any loose bearings or anything along the way, you know, we repack them, we tighten them, we do whatever, and you sort of, I like to do that pre-maintenance along the way. So nothing to report, unfortunately, nothing to pick on. Brown Davis long range fuel tanks, really helpful for when you are doing big remote trips from Jackson, mate. 110%. Obviously being a heavy car and I'm towing a caravan around Australia, I'm going to chew a lot of fuel, is what it is. The ability to go those extra distances with the long range tanks is an absolute must. I'm holding 300 litres of diesel, 2 tanks, one big 185 and one 115 litre tank. So the other cool thing is, if I ever get a puncture in one tank by a freak accident or a stake or an old star picket or something goes up and wrecks a tank, I can isolate that tank and I can run off the off whichever tank is still good. If I'm an idiot and put fuel in it, the wrong fuel in, or anything, just the ability, or you get bad fuel at one service station with water, it's just versatile having those 2 tanks in the Land Cruiser. But anyone that does long range touring, one of the first things you need is extra fuel, long range tank. Does it feel a bit heavy sometimes? With the Jmacx kit, guys, and I'm not sponsored by Jmacx, I paid for the kit. It's a hell of a kit. It's built to carry the weight. There's a few other mobs out there doing coil conversions and bits and pieces, and some of them may flex a little bit better, but let me tell you, they don't handle as well on the road, and this is built to take weight. It's not built to be a comp truck, it's built to carry that extra load and handle well on and off road, and this thing really does handle extremely well for a big car, especially with the amount of weight I've got on set up for touring. So yeah, sometimes it does feel a bit heavy if you just, you know, going down the shops and bits and pieces, but when you're doing what it's built for, nah, not at all. It doesn't feel too heavy at all. Chuck it in low range, throw the dual lockers on and get stuck into some hill climbs. It's been unreal. What seats do you have in the front of the Cruiser? They're a Scheelman. They've been incredible, guys. They're a new brand into Australia. They're a German engineered seat. I definitely recommend them. They're a little bit cheaper than your Recaros. There were no Recaros in stock. I came across these guys. I think they were the first set of seats to be put in Australia. I love them. I haven't even put seat covers or anything on them, which is probably something would be good to do, but so far with all the mud and dirt and everything, a little wipe over, they've come up really well. What engine mods have you done? So under the bonnet, guys, it's a full Safari setup. Safari have gone to town on this vehicle. I'm running their ECU, their secondary fuel filter, their oil to air separator, or catch can if you like to call it, their heavy duty clutch, and we have actually done a couple of extra modifications with Safari in a bigger Garrett turbo, and we've slightly modified the exhaust system. It still has the DPF. This is a fully legal vehicle setup. I'm gonna do a full video. I'm running a bit of a prototype for something that's coming for the ECU modules, so I'm not going to talk about it too much until it comes out, and I'll do a full video. I'll give you all my numbers, all my stats, but this thing pulls like a train. I can drag around the van, everything, and I'm absolutely stoked with the amount of power. It's reliable power. I've done videos on the ECU units before. They are incredibly sophisticated unit. Cool thing about Safari is I do get to do a little bit of R&D for them. I have just received a couple of their new products that I've been running for 12 months in this truck. I love that I get to do a bit of R&D for these companies and give them my feedback first, but I'll show it to you just because I'm actually going to film some social media. These are brand new, guys. Safari RMAX oil separator, guys, brand new product coming out from Safari. I've got the whole boxing and packaging here. I'm just running a little bit of socials. It's the only reason I'm showing you guys this. Is just a massive coincidence. Catch can, you may call it. Gets rid of any of that sort of blow by, reduces intake on your carbon buildup, allows cleaner air to the engine, improves performance. It's a serviceable filter, and it's a fully sealed with an internal bypass. One of the only ones on the market that has that function. They also have the fuel pre-filter. I haven't even opened these boxes up yet. This is the first time I've seen their packaging. But look, straight off the bat, guys, I'm going to tell you, if you've seen any secondary fuel filters, they're quite small, and almost the same size as your factory unit. Now, if you have a look at the size of the filter and the cartridge on the Safari unit, straight away you'll notice it's a lot larger. Now, think about the diesel running through. It was designed to run through one filter with X amount of flow. Now, as soon as you put a secondary filter there, that's the same size as your first filter, you're restricting your flow. That's why the Jmacx unit is such a bigger unit. So it doesn't actually reduce the flow anywhere near as much as some of the other competitors. 98% particle separation, which is 30 microns for all you guys that want the ins and outs. 100% water separation. Any modern diesel vehicle, guys, this is a modification that is almost a must, especially if you're remote touring. You've got to get out there and you're bound to pick up some average fuel. So a secondary fuel filter is yeah, it's a big one these days with the common rails. In-cab water detection alert as well, so it's wired back and it lets you know. Anyway, that was a bit of a producty plug. I just had them laying around, so don't get too stuck into me. Let's keep going with questions. This is a big one, guys. The question I get all the time: do you miss the 76? Like, do you miss owning it? Look, I love the 76, but no, the 79 is such a more practical car for touring. So much more space, so much easily accessible when you're on the road. The 76, you've got to open up the rear doors. I only had one swing away because I didn't want to open up two. So if you wanted to run something similar with dual wheels like I have here, you've got to open up two doors, then another two doors just to get in the back to slide your fridge out. A canopy has been a game changer for me because I've never had a dual cab with a canopy setup like this. No, I don't miss the 76. The only thing I miss about the 76 is being a mid-wheel base, turning circle, and just sort of that, how nimble the 76 was compared to the 79. If you've driven a 79, the turning circle is not much chop. If you've driven a 79 series with a 300mm extension, it is even worse. It's probably the one big thing with this truck when we're going to start talking pros and cons. That's probably one of the biggest cons, the turning circle. You can actually get under there and get more adjustment out of them, which I didn't know, and I think a few people don't know as well. But if you get under there and you basically sit there and go to your tyres are just about to rub on your chassis in bits and pieces, of course when you're off-road full flex and mucking around, it's probably not ideal, but it's something that I found was very helpful. Some hard 4x4 track videos coming up. This is nothing to do, not a review, but yeah, look, we've got a couple of cool tracks in mind where we're going to drop the van and go and get stuck in. Fuel consumption, guys. Fuel consumption is something that I honestly don't look at, and I really need to because I get asked it all the time. So I might do a fuel up, check my consumption, and I'll get back to you. If you didn't build a 79, what would you build for touring? I don't know. I like the idea of a big Ram. I may build a big Ram next. Feel like they're just going to be, they're just too big. They're too big for the tracks. The amount of tracks. Have a look at the scratches on the side of this thing, guys. You want to take a Ram down there, like you're in all sorts. You're going to destroy it. I think the tracks just aren't quite built for it, but I'd love to build one and find out the hard way. So we'll see what happens. I don't know what else I'd build. That's such a hard question. It took me that long to decide to build this, let alone what I'm going to build next. What is the full weight of the car fully loaded? I come in at about 4.2 tonne when I fill up 300 litres of diesel, 150 litres of water. That's been a huge pro with this car, guys, having that big water supply, being able to have those sort of outdoor showers. I know I've got the caravan with more water storage, but the 76, I just had a jerry can with a hose. Now having an actual decent amount of water supply with a proper removable hose, not just a gravity fed one with pressure, and running the pump, being able to clean dishes. That's been one of the biggest game changers for me in this vehicle, just being able to have proper running water. I know I just didn't have it on the last truck, so that's something I've absolutely loved. So yeah, full tilt, guys, we're getting awfully heavy. You know, as soon as you're over 4 tonne with a vehicle, you're getting extremely heavy. The Jmacx kit is built for 4495. So once I put the caravan on the back, we're on our limit. I've got very little up my sleeve, which all that means is you know, I can reduce that by not filling tanks up as much and not filling up all the water capacities. A lot of the time, guys, I won't fill everything up. There's no need, of course, but if I'm going to push out to a remote spot, I will. So I do try and keep the weight down where I can. How many kilometers has she done? I'll be right back. Oh, 41,100 kilometers on the dot. We've ticked over. So in what's that? It's been a year and a bit. Done a few, getting around. What clutch is the ute running and how's it held up? I mentioned before, it's the 10,000 Newton meter, true Newton meter clutch from Safari, their heavy duty clutch. It's been a beast, guys. I'm heavy, I'm towing a van. I've been dragging it along beaches. I've been giving it a red hot hiding, and it's been unreal. Maybe ask me in another 12 months when we've done a little bit more, but so far it's killing it. Top 5 mods you've done and why? What would you recommend I do first to my 79? All right, here are the top 5 mods on my vehicle. Canopy, Boss aluminium canopy. This thing is laid out incredibly. I don't like things banging around. I've got the ability with the Boss aluminium when I get home to pull sections out because it's all like a Meccano set. You can chop and change. So when I get home, I may remove a few things to give me more space for bulkier items. But for touring on the road, guys, the way I've set the canopy up has been incredible. So number 1 is the canopy setup. To tie in with that, number 2 is the Red Arc system. Red Vision with the TPMS system. It has been incredible. I haven't had a single fault with anything to do with wiring or electrics or 12 volt in this canopy. It has never gone flat. I've got 240 amps of lithium. It's a Boss aluminium battery that fits into this canopy build. 2000 watt sine wave inverter that runs all the electronics, my toasty sandwich maker, the new induction hot plate that I've just bought, and look, 300 watts of solar on the roof. So this thing's just always full. It's got the Manager 30 system, so it does 30 amp hours, plus we've got another 50 amp BC to DC charger. You're talking 3 hours of driving and you go from 0 to 100%. So with the amount of driving I do, it's always topped up. If I sit for an extended period of time, the 300 watts up on the roof there just tops the system back up. It's the one thing that, you know, even on the previous build, I didn't have any solar, and you're always sort of checking where's my battery level at. Do I have to go for a drive? Do I have to plug a solar blanket in? It's been unreal. I actually can't speak highly enough about the system, and having that awesome 12 volt system and just the reliability to know no matter where you are, all your power is going to be working. Remember, guys, I charge my drone batteries and all my GoPro batteries off the car while I'm driving. It's been incredible. It really has. I can't fault the Red Arc gear whatsoever. Number 3 has got to be the Jmacx system, which incorporates a lot of things, guys. The Jmacx system, if you want more information on all this, make sure you go back and watch the full vehicle build video. But the Jmacx system, so that is the extension, that's the rear winch cradle, that's the 4-inch suspension lift, that's with the 35s on the BF Goodrich tyres, of course. Running the methods, it doesn't only look good, but it's extremely practical, and most of all, it's completely legal through the Jmacx. It's one of the only ways you can do 4-inch and 35s unless you want to muck around with portals. So that's number 3, protection. Your bull bar, your scrub bars, your sliders, all that sort of thing. So decent protection. Up front, obviously running the ARB premium bar. The amount of roos and wildlife I've nearly hit's ridiculous. I've clipped 1 roo. Look, that's a modification you need to every vehicle. I've run the ARB bars on every one of my 4-wheel drives. The ability to obviously have all the correct lighting mounts and your aerial brackets. So the Solis lights up front have been unreal. More detail obviously is in the other build video. Question I get asked all the time is, why am I running 2 aerials, guys? So I'm running the GME XRS unit. That's 1 aerial. Then the other aerial is for my selfie. So up front, this is my twin aerials. As you can see at the moment, I'm running the blue aerial. Now, this video, by the time it goes live, it's probably still running. Get down to your local ARB stores, guys. They've teamed up with GME and they're doing blue aerial for the good cause of Beyond Blue, to raise mental health awareness. $40 from every aerial will be donated. So huge shout out to ARB and GME getting behind a good cause. So I went down and I actually just grabbed one from the local broom dealer and I've put it on the vehicle. Now, this is the GME multi-band cellular antenna. It's a 2.5 to 7 dBi aerial. If anyone's wondering for the selfie, I think it just looks good that they both match and you got the same aerial up on front. Plus, I know that the GME, because I've run them on the last couple of cars, the stability's there in the springs and they don't break, and we've had them running through the scrub. Look at the scratches on this thing. this thing's copped an absolute hiding, actually. So yeah, there you go, mate. That's your selfie aerial. So no, it's not there for show. I don't run two aerials to be a cow cocky and make it just look cool. It's for the selfie. It boosts your mobile phone signal. How do I like that? I actually definitely rate it. It's something that I do get asked quite a bit what I think of the selfie system. It's not incredible, guys. It's not going to give you reception absolutely everywhere. You need a little bit of reception and it will boost it. It's not going to boost it all the way sometimes, but every now and again, no one's got reception or people can't load bits and pieces or make a phone call, and I've got enough. So if you're doing the remote touring, it's about $1,000. I'm glad I bought it. It has come in handy. It's not incredible, but it's worth having. So that's number 4. It's got to be good protection. Number 5 is probably the setup, the Bush Company setup I've got. Alpha rooftop tent and the awning combo. So there we go, guys. I know it sort of covers the whole vehicle, but number 1, a good canopy setup on the back of the truck. Number 2, the 12-volt system to power everything. The red arc's been incredible. Number 3, the Jmacx, which that incorporates a lot, so it's kind of cheating because that's wheels, tires, suspension, upgraded brakes, it's everything, but that's one system. Good bar protection, guys. That's an absolute must. And then number 5, obviously having an awesome rooftop tent and awning combo allows me to just go out and have shade, shelter, and be protected from the elements. Let's get some more questions going. What would we do first? Long range tank or a diesel tune? Diesel tune, more power. Yeah, you're going to use more fuel. Highly recommend long range tanks, but you want more power. Let's be honest. A long range tank you almost need when you get more power if you're doing your big touring trips. But how did you mount up the solar panels on the Alpha bloke? Got a couple 150 watters. The Bush Company rooftop tent, this is one of my favorite things with the tent, is you can just put any accessory you want on. So the solar panels, mate, my 2 150 solar panels, they're Bush Company brackets that go on top of the Alpha, so hit them up. Then when you put them on, make sure you ask for the extension legs for the roof racks. I don't think they've got them yet, but Dean designed them because basically as soon as you put your solar panels up on top, 50-60 mil, your roof racks become null and void. So they've made extension legs so that you can still clear your roof rack, your solar panels with surfboards and whatever you want to throw up on top of your roof racks. How's the PPF going, guys? Let me show you this one. So I wish it was clean. I'm gonna give it a bit of a clean. This is the hose I was telling you about, guys, but we'll give this a hit. It is incredible. I wish I had done every single piece of this truck in PPF. So the canopy doors obviously cop an absolute hiding. The scratches that I have on the canopy, the tray and the underbody toolboxes are really bad. We've done a couple of extremely overgrown tracks, 6 hours to go 1 kilometer, just pushing hard, getting scratches. So I'm going to give you a close up here, guys. Plenty of scratches, and they are not going to be coming out anytime soon, all on the tray as well. Let me get in close there so you can see them. Really is absolutely insane, guys. It's chalk and cheese. The bottom doors here are destroyed, and look, even with a good cut and polish, you're gonna have big scratches in these. This has still got a protective coating on it, guys. So once I peel this off, it is gonna be brand spanking new underneath. But the PPF is that good that during the hot sun in the day, any light scratches in the PPF will actually absorb out, and the PPF self-heals itself. Now, we did a video on this. I'll link that below if you want to go check that out as well. But 10 out of 10, couldn't recommend it highly enough. It's bloody incredible. I wish I did more of the vehicle. My next vehicle, I'm going to do the whole bloody car in this stuff. The car doors, mate. Let's have a look at the car doors. Look, you've seen the stake down the side of the tray and on the bottom doors. The car, it's covered in dust, but there is not any scratching that will actually be on the paintwork. You can't even see any of the scratching on the car. It's ridiculous. You can see it on some of the wrap because I've got a wrap over the top of the clear PPF. You can see where all the scratches would have been, and it's actually scratched the wrap. But the PPF itself has kept so bloody good. It's ridiculous. If that was just my painted standard paint from Toyota, it would be trash. You'd be trying to buff and polish the buggery out of it, and there's no way you'd get them all out. I'm telling you right now. Now, when you get a really bad one, just to show you that it's not indestructible, we had a huge stick come up and gash through here and completely tore the wrap, but underneath isn't scratched. So anyway, I've spoken about it enough. It's incredible, guys. Highly recommend it. I'll definitely be doing it again on the next truck. Yes, it's expensive. Resale, as soon as I go to sell this car, I'll pull all the PPF off, and 85% of this car is going to look brand new, except for the pieces that I didn't have covered in PPF. Okay, do you rate the center console fridge? I'm running 2 fridges in this car, guys. One is the 110 upright Jmacx in the back. Another question I get asked all the time: how do you prefer the upright fridge to your standard chest freezers? If I had to do a chest freezer in this, I'd have to have one of the drop-down fridge slides, which, personal preference, I dislike. I don't like them. They're bulky, they're heavy, they're just as expensive as the fridge. I would personally rather the upright fridge. Every now and again, if you're on an extremely hard track, you may open the door and you might have something slide out if you've packed it to the brim above sort of the retaining sort of level there. But mate, I know you asked about the center console fridge, but I just got carried away there. The center console fridge, yeah, I rate it. Myself and Navsy, we got a water bottle each in there for cold water, an orange juice or a can of soft drink. It's great to have. It acts as an armrest as well. It gives you another 2 cup holders, and it's a true fridge. It's not a cooler either. Big fan of the center console fridge. Next mod. There are no more mods getting done to this car unless it's an automatic, and I'll put my hand in the pocket. Pockets are empty, mate. I don't have the coin to do a $25,000–$30,000 automatic conversion. I can't justify it. Having the airbag system in underneath. So right now, I'll show you this because this is pretty cool. Right now, I've got it set up to tow the caravan. So it's running at, I run the bags at 50 pound. Come have a quick look at this. This is a bloody cool feature in my car. It has so many upsides, very few downsides. It's the ARB Linx system. While I was talking about the airbags, I thought I'd just show you this. So I come in the car here, I got it set up, airbag man van. So that's for my caravan setup. I simply change this to 4-wheel drive. That's what I run around in when I don't have the caravan on the back. Sometimes I adjust the pressure depending on what I'm doing. And then right now, when I pull up at camp and I've disconnected the van, I hit airbag man camp, and that drops me down to 0 PSI in the airbags, which lowers the back down probably close to 100 mil, which when you're running a 4-inch lift and 35s, to be able to drop that down 100 mil and access the canopy a lot easier, it's incredible, guys. It just gives you that little bit of extra reach, especially the canopy being so wide. If you're 6'4", don't worry about it, but if you're not, it definitely comes in handy. While we are talking about the Linx system, guys, I've done a few videos on this before. In the full build video, I run through all the features on this, but I've been stoked with the Linx system. I'll definitely be putting it in the next car. Cons of the Linx system, guys, is it's all in one place and it is electronic. So if you do have an electrical fault, you're going to lose the ability of some of your switching. But the pros outweigh that. I haven't had a drama with the wiring on this at all. It gives you so many features that you can do all in one area, right at the touch of your fingertip. So yeah, stoked. $250K, can I buy the vehicle? Yes, mate. $250,000, you can definitely buy the vehicle. You can pick it up in January, job done, and I'll build something else. But look, am I going to be selling the big girl after this trip? I haven't decided. Let me know in the comments what you think I should do. I've got two options. This is a bit of a dream rig. I keep it forever, which is highly likely. Or I sell it and I try building something like a Ram or a bigger vehicle. Or option number 3, which sounds like a lot of fun to me, is I sell it. It's a very expensive vehicle, and then I see how many other 4-wheel drives I can build off the back of this one vehicle. We get stuck into some old 40s and maybe build up like a 4.2 GU ute and build up a few other things. I don't know. They're my 3 options. What do you reckon I should do in the comments? Should I keep this truck forever, or should I build a new one, American Ram? Tell me, what vehicle should I build next? Let me know. How are the new ARB Spotlights going? Are they better than the aftermarket ones? The Solis, guys, the Solis are quite a bit cheaper than the Intensity lights, and they have been incredible. On the switching panel, I can change 25, 50, 75, 100%. So I can actually adjust how bright they are. I found that's come in handy on some of the country roads still closer to town that have a lot of lights, and you get that bit of reflection off them. They've been awesome, guys. I've been using them. Of course, they're better quality than some of the other aftermarket ones. There's a lot of cheap lights on the market that end up rattling and disappearing. The Travel Buddy. Is the Travel Buddy worth it? Is it worth it? They're not very expensive. Do I use it? No. No, not really. Look, every now and again we do throw a pie in it. When I first got it, I was pretty excited and I used apple pies in it. Am I glad I've got it? Yes, because every now and again I do use it, guys, and it comes in handy. But is it a must? It's not as big a must as I thought. I thought I'd use it a lot more than what I did, to be fair. Would you rather the back seats gone and have more storage in a fridge? Towing a van, I don't need it. I don't need the extra space, so I haven't. But if I was just the car, I definitely would. How do you find the black canopy? Is it hot inside? Do you insulate? It hasn't been an issue. I haven't ever opened it up and anything's been cooked, or no, I don't have a problem with it. So far so good. I've got no insulation. What's your favorite simple but useful DIY mod? My backyard hose setup. So the Boss aluminium tray setup comes with the water pump and just a tap down underneath. One afternoon, the day before we left for Stratty, when I first got the canopy set up, I went and got a bit of flexi hose. It's like a 2 meter long flexi hose and just a poke garden hose, and I zip tied that from one side, poked it up the back of the hole on my kitchen side, and that's been my dodgiest mod that has been there the whole entire time. And it's one of the favorite things about the car. Towing mirrors, Jake, mate, the MSA mirrors have been incredible. We'll have a look at them while we're here. All right, these have copped a hiding by plenty of big trees. Once again, these are all scratch to buggery, guys, and this is the good thing about, I guess, driving around Australia and some of the tracks that we've done are overgrown, is I can give you decent feedback. These are scratch to buggery, nothing's broken, the glass is still good, they still slide nice and easy. You don't have to rip them out, your passenger can just push them out. The fold down, I don't really use the fold down. I leave mine basically in that position the whole time. If I had a bigger van and I wanted more vision, then I would use them. But these things are tough as nails. All steel bracket. I don't know what to say. I've given them a hiding. They're killing it. I find the new ARB base rack. Look, at the end of the day, guys, it's just a roof rack, I'll be honest, but it's got everything to go with it. There's been a lot of drama with roof racks. I'm not going to get into it, but there's been certain brands that don't have the right ratings off-road as on-road. All I know is the ARB base rack is 1 rating, whether you're on-road or off-road. It is strong as buggery, and look, it's been epic. I've got the 4 max tracks up on the top there. I would like to be running 8 max tracks because I'm towing the van, but I've just been running the 4s. I run 4 of the max tracks extremes. We've given them an absolute hiding. You didn't ask this, but would I recommend doing the extremes over the standard max tracks? Because a lot of you will be thinking that. Definitely go the extremes. They are a little bit more expensive, but the teeth don't wear out. And if you use them as much as we do, trust me, by the time you burn through a couple of sets of the other max tracks, you shouldn't be burning through them if you use them correctly, but Matter of fact is you do, and people, 9 times out of 10, you're lending them to other people and they destroy them. Anyway, sidetrack. The base rack is, yeah, it's epic. It's got all the different attachments. So I've got the Max Track attachments, simple and easy. 4 little toggles that you turn, and I can access my Max Tracks extremely quickly. They do all your jerry can holders. They do all the brackets that you could possibly want for a roof rack. So big fan of the base rack, and you've got no dramas with any of the different weights on road and off road or anything like that, guys. All right, so I've been dribbling long enough, guys. If I've missed anything that you want to know, I've answered every question that got sent through. It's why it's probably dragged on a little bit. But if you want to know anything, put it in the comments and I'll get on there and answer it. I knew exactly what I wanted, and this is basically everything that I could possibly want. It's been my dream truck, and so far it has been amazing. We'll do another review video in maybe another 6 months. The more off-road stuff you do and the longer you spend out there touring, the more likely that things are going to start to break. But so far we're good. This is what happens when you use good quality products, guys. If there's anything else, make sure you hit me up, and I'll be sure to tell you in the comments. But thanks for watching, guys. Really do appreciate it. If you've enjoyed the video, make sure you give it a like. If you haven't subscribed, smash that subscribe button, hit that bell. Till next time, make sure you get out and enjoy the Explore life. Thanks for watching.